What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are doing well. Today's video is going to contain a lot of really important news for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So yes, we got that trailer yesterday, which was phenomenal, but today we got some great info by Kathleen Kennedy, Ewan Mcgregor, and Hayden Christensen as well that I'm looking forward to getting into, as well as our first look at Darth Vader within this show. So first, let's talk about the script of the show. Now, a lot of you may remember that after the show was initially announced, they did say that they have the scripts completely ready from front to back. They said it was done and it was ready to go into production. However, it seemed like they weren't very happy with the script. So what happened is they paused production and they redid, I don't know how much of the scripts, but they redid the scripts. And Kathleen Kennedy was asked about this today in this interview. And here's what she had to say about the rewriting of the script. She says, "We're looking ultimately to make a hopeful, uplifting story. And it's tricky when you're starting with a character in the state that Obi-Wan would be in coming off of Revenge of the Sith. That's a pretty bleak period of time. You can't just wave the magic wand with any writer and arrive at a story that necessarily reflects what you want to feel." And I think this is really good info because this shows that Lucasfilm obviously really cares about this story. This shows that Kathy, she knows this story is going to be very personal to pretty much every single Star Wars fan. As a kid growing up with the prequels, I always wanted to see more of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, we got him in the Clone Wars, which was great, but I still really wanted to see that story set after Episode 3 and before A New Hope. There's just such a huge time gap that I was like, what the heck went on during that time? And the fact that we're going to see it, and the fact that it seems like Lucasfilm really had to make sure this story was pinpoint perfect, that really intrigues me, and I think that's a very good sign. So that's Kathleen Kennedy talking about the script issues and kind of how they were resolved. Now let's talk about Darth Vader, because we all know the legendary Hayden Christensen is back to play Darth Vader in this show. I remember when they announced it, I went berserk. We actually got the very first image and look of Darth Vader in Kenobi, and here it is right here on screen. He looks amazing, very dark colors, very dark lighting and everything. It's Vader. What else can I say about it? It's very reminiscent of Vader in Empire Strikes Back during the scene with him facing off against Luke. I guarantee that was done on purpose. This also looks like his little fortress area with his back to tank in Star Wars Rogue One. So now, with Vader in mind, let's talk about Hayden Christensen, because he was also interviewed, and they simply asked if fans are going to see Vader without his iconic mask in the show, and all he had to say was, "I wish I could tell you, but I am sworn to secrecy." Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that seems like a very obvious, yes, this is going to happen. At least I hope. It would be really cool to see him in his back to tank without a helmet on, just to see Hayden Christensen once again, because, you know, everyone knows Hayden played Anakin, but not many people know that at the end of Revenge of the Sith, it was actually Hayden Christensen who was in Vader's suit. A lot of people don't know that, but it was indeed Hayden Christensen, and of course, it was James Earl Jones doing the voice, but Hayden was in there, so it seems like he's just going right back in there. But he also teased, and I quote, that fans are going to see a very powerful Vader. So we all saw Vader in Rogue One, we all loved it, it was amazing, and there has been a lot of reports and rumors that Vader is going to be more brutal than ever within this show. And so hearing Hayden talk about that and almost kind of confirm that rumor, that definitely has me very excited. And finally, guys, real quick before I wrap this up, I want to talk about Ewan Mcgregor, because he was also, of course, interviewed, and he talked about the current state of the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he talks about how he's a broken man he feels an enormous amount of responsibility. He was just asked about how Obi-Wan is in this mindset within this show, and he said, "Obi-Wan is lost. He's a broken man after what happened with the Jedi Order at the end of Episode 3, but also what happened with Anakin, that he lost him to the dark side. He feels an enormous amount of responsibility for that and guilt." And I am looking forward to seeing that. We saw in some art that he basically he's homeless. I mean, he's a homeless man. He lives in this cave, it looks like, all alone, because when you really think about Obi-Wan's story, it's honestly one of the most interesting stories in Star Wars, yet not real focused on it. This is because Obi-Wan loses pretty much everyone he ever gets close to. I mean, just think about it. Everyone Kenobi got close to, he lost. I mean, think about it. We've got Qui-Gon, we've got Anakin, you could say Padme even. You could even say, of course, Satine, I think her name is in the Clone Wars, I forgot maybe. But his story is very emotional, and it makes sense for Obi-Wan to be in this very guilt-driven mindset. And what I have always said from the beginning, ever since this show was announced, was I hope this show is going to be fun. I hope we see really good action in it, which by the trailers it looks like we're going to. But I also always said all I ask for is a good story in depth with Obi-Wan's character. I want some development with Obi-Wan. I want him to go through a little arc in this show, something that really fulfills the way he is from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. And just based on the way they're talking about it, Ewan is, I really think we're gonna get that. I know there's been lots of leaks and rumors about this show, but I won't be getting into it. But guys, this is just some really, really great news. I'm gonna keep covering this stuff. I cannot wait for this show to come out. It's only a little over 2 months away, but thank you all so much for watching this video till the end. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like on it, as it really does help out the channel a lot. And if you are new, why don't you go ahead and subscribe for more Star Wars news, theories, essays, and more, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.